Y'all are listening to Oops Spoilers. I'm your host, Elise, and today I am joined by my lovely book club queen, Brittany. So, Brittany started the book club that me and Mallory are both in, and so we thought it would be super fun to just have a little episode where we talk about the book club and just some ideas and things in case anybody out there would be interested in starting their own or wants to join one, but you're a little nervous. Maybe you don't know what it's like. So this is your inside scoop. This is your preview into the world of book club. So, Brittany, my first question for you is I guess what made you want to start a book club, and then how did you
Yeah.
go about it? Like, how were you like, listen, people, let's all get together and let's read some books?
Okay. So the first thing that really made me want to start one is there was just a couple friends at the time, like Mallory, other people that are getting into reading. I got into reading back in like 2023 again. I kind of lost that reading bug for a while. So then I just texted like that little group, started a little group chat, and it started pretty small. It was like, I think, four of us originally. It's kind of developed over time and we have a lot more people now. But you really just start it. Like I texted them, I was like, hey, let's just do like once a month. Let's find a, book we want to read. We have like a lot of fantasy people in the group. So that's kind of how we got started.
That's so nice. And honestly, I feel like sometimes we have the urge of like, oh, like that's so official. It's so much to commit to, like who's really gonna do it. But I think that's like, honestly, just reach out, like just make the ask, like, and you can
Yeah,
figure out all the details and stuff later, like
exactly.
you can make it whatever you want. But are there things that you found like, either when you started that you knew you wanted to have, like as far as like organizational? I know you mentioned like you were like we'll meet like once a month and like picking
Yeah.
books, was there any of that that you felt like you had to like figure out, or things that you tried that didn't work?
Yeah, so the first one, I kind of just like started off by like hosting everybody at my house, just picked the book, and I was like, let's do this one because we had a like again a lot of fantasy people in the group. I think at the time it was like popular on the classic book talk, and we just went for it and just met, and then it kind of evolved. So like original planning, I wasn't originally planning to like necessarily every month someone host or a different person hosts, a different person picks a book, but that's just kind of how it evolved, which I really liked because like the idea of necessarily like me hosting every month, maybe not as tangible. So everyone just kind of takes a turn. And if they don't feel like hosting in their house, we kind of move it around. It can be in like a neutral location, like a book, well, not a bookstore. We haven't done a bookstore. Maybe that's like coming to my mind now. A coffee shop or something like that. So it kind of is just, we've kind of just started it and then just gone with it and tried different things. Maybe something works, maybe something doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think honestly, I like the way that we have it set up where it's like everyone gets a chance to pick a book, and then
Yeah,
everyone can kind of take it as far as they want to take it, like either
right.
you can just have it in your house and like everyone just comes and we just, relax and we talk about the book and we just talk about life. Or like I know previously, like when I've hosted, I was like looking for like a fun location, that's
Right.
like kind of themed like the book. Or I know
Right.
sometimes people like plan activities that are like the book. Do you have any like memories of like different books or like different book club, meetings that have really stuck out to you, or like fun ideas?
So like I actually have little visuals of our favorite books so far. Serpent and the Wings of Night was the first one. It that still sticks out to me just because it was, like, the first one, didn't know what the heck we were doing, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Um, I think I tried it was in August of, 2024, I believe. Oh, wait, no. No, yeah, it'll yeah, never mind, it'll be 2 years, that's crazy. Um, I was like, "Wait, that can't be right." So, I
Nice.
think I tried to do, like, a vampire-themed cocktail, just even if it doesn't have to be, like, decorations or anything crazy, it can just be, like, one little thing that you pick from the book that you like. It's so funny, I didn't mean to grab these, but then we have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This one, we there was, like, things that came up, but I had planned to do, like, a French theme there, so and then we did Mallory picked The Midnight Library. That one still very much sticks out to me. That was the first time we met in a coffee shop, and then that book was just so eye-opening for all of us. It was just such a good book. And then let me think. And then another lady had one at an apple orchard. It wasn't really specific to the book. It was just more like fall time, but
Hmm.
it still sticks out, right? Like something like a fun adventure that everyone can go on and then like talk about the book later when we get back. But yeah, I've really liked those. I think we read why am I forgetting the book? The very first book like you started with the Norse book that I picked. And then I did like a kind of themed charcuterie.
Was it? What?
Why am I
No, I
forgetting the
forgot it
name?
too. Oh my gosh.
Were we here for the food and not the book?
No, it's the one that was all over. It was all over everything, right? Like the big. Oh my gosh.
It's sitting on my bookshelf right over there, and I
Me pulling up my Goodreads to be like,
literally no, I was thinking of doing that before this. I was like, wait, I
listen,
need to remember.
ah, it's gonna make me. I'm gonna, of course, once I find it, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, how could I forget? I read too many books. A Fate Inked in Blood.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're talking about. Okay,
Yes.
because I knew it had fate in there somewhere, but I could
Yeah, and
not.
then when the second one came out, some of us did a side mission of reading the second one, which wasn't as good as the first, but that's neither here nor there.
I haven't read the second one yet, but it's still
Oh,
on my
my bad.
list.
I poisoned the well.
No, no, that's okay. If I'm gonna like it, I'm gonna like it regardless of whether or not you
I love that.
laid
You're
the
like,
ground.
"I'm gonna make my own opinion, thank you."
I'm gonna be committed to that bit. If I decide that it's for me, then it's for me.
Right.
Didn't the meeting where you guys went to the apple orchard? I wasn't able to be there. I was so sad. Didn't she host like a sleepover at her house
Oh,
too?
yeah. So, yes, there's so much to that one book club, it was
Yeah.
amazing. So, it was Jen's, like, first time hosting, so she went all out. Like, we went to the apple orchard, we went on the little, like, walked around, took pictures, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went back to her house, she cooked us all dinner, it was amazing, and then yeah, some of us slept over. It was a lot of
Wow.
fun.
I that's honestly that's on my list of like ones to do again because I was so bummed out because we just that's one thing we
Yeah.
don't do enough of as like adults. I feel like because we don't do enough slumber parties, and I
Dude,
just feel
I'm hosting in a couple months. I will host, and it's gonna be in my birthday month. I think I'm plotting what we could do, make it like
like
summer or like ocean themed. I'm plotting.
little beach Airbnb. Listen, listen, it could be good.
Right,
Oh my gosh,
right,
but these are just like so some fun ideas that like as you're like looking at your book club, like how if you want to have one person that picks the books, that's all, all you, but like having everybody get to personalize it and really like, get to cuz I feel like it also like if people get to share books are that are important to them or some of their
exactly.
favorites,
Yeah,
you really get to like know each other so much better and just keeps it from getting kind of stagnant and then like you can get all these personalized like meetings and just do all the fun like things related to the book not related to the
right.
book but I do think it's fun if it's like personalized to the what you read.
Yeah, that's definitely it's helped me push myself out of, like, the comfort zone of my typicals or, like, thrillers, fantasy, things like that. So if
Hmm.
someone picks, like, a romance book, that's piques my interest in romance books, or before I read The Nightingale, I hadn't really read a ton of historical fiction, maybe in high school, but we don't remember, it's fine. So, like, because my default is those 2 genres, so now it just pushes you out of that boundary, gets you a little maybe a little uncomfortable, and that's fine, like, and you probably could really enjoy the book. I think there were several people who enjoyed The Nightingale or enjoyed, like, other themes that they didn't necessarily go to grab for before.
Yeah, I think I mean, they say like reading, expands your like empathy for other people,
Yeah,
that,
it does.
it's educational, like it makes your brain, like engages your brain, works it a little
Yeah,
bit harder than just like doom scrolling or whatever. Like
exactly.
stories have such a deep impact on people. And so I think when we can come together and share them, especially like as a community, it makes your sense of community stronger. Like honestly, book club has been so good for me and like my mental health, just like
Right.
knowing like, hey, I have if nothing else, I have book club coming up and it's
Exactly.
gonna be
It's something I
girlies.
am so looking forward to every single month. Like, you're just gonna have your girlhood, your girl time. Talking about like learning through it, I recently read like in the last year, like I don't know the author, but Yellowface. It's about like
Mm-hmm.
cultural appropriation in the Asian culture, or
Mm-hmm.
basically an author who appropriates an Asian person's culture, and it was very eye opening. I'd never read a book like that. So it was really interesting. There's just certain things that I'll pick up now that I might go out of the normal scope just to see what it's like.
Yeah. So I think that would also be like part of my encouragement to anyone who's thinking about joining a book club, but maybe you're a mood
Yeah,
reader, maybe you're like,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm not the one picking the books every month, and like maybe it's gonna be stuff that I
And
don't really
we
like to
there has
read.
been times, like, there's our book club has changed, there's been people who have, like, not with it anymore. Like, there was a couple people that, like, "Oh, I just don't wanna read different than one genre," and they just parted ways. Like, there's some people
Mhm.
that might just choose that, and that's totally fine, but
Yeah.
I think it really matters, like, who's in the book club and, like, just open-minded people, like, "Hey, I don't mind trying something new," and honestly, there's times where, like, you can also just opt out, like, there's no pressure to read the book. I mean, of course, that's the idea. It's not like one of those book clubs where you generally should never read the book, like, the intention is to read it,
Right.
and to absorb some of it, but hey, if you sometimes you have life, sometimes you have a busy month, you didn't get to it, it's okay, like, it's not the end of the world.
It's not that serious.
It's
But
never
yeah,
that serious.
I think my encouragement, my hope for you, listener, is that you would like read it or give it a try, unless it's really better for you not to, just because
Right,
like you never know how you're gonna like it until you do try it. And like you were saying with like reading different genres or historical fiction or whatever, sometimes you have like a preconceived notion of what a certain book is going to be,
right,
especially if
yeah,
like it is historical. You're like, okay, well, I'm not in school anymore. Why would I want to sit here and read a textbook? And it's like,
yeah,
that really undermines the author's expertise and
yeah,
like, um, their prowess in their craft, because
honestly,
what you're saying is like you can't make this subject material interesting for me, and it's like, well, maybe not every author can do that for you.
yeah.
Maybe this book will really speak to you, or even if the story doesn't seem that interesting or it's not fantasy, so or sci-fi, so how exciting can it be? It's like,
Right.
but sometimes once you start reading a book you realize like, oh, but there's like a sibling dynamic in this book that really like ministers to me,
Yeah,
and it's
you really never know what's gonna speak to you until
Mhm.
you're in it, right? And at least my own mantra for myself, if I'm reading a book and I'm just not sure about it, I just try to get through the first 100 pages. See what, like, you can get through, or not get through, it's not like a task, right? But see what the first 100 pages holds. If it doesn't work, I'm not also not afraid to DNF. So, like, I used to try to, like, really push through any book I opened, I had to finish, but, like, that's another thing. If you really are just not enjoying it after that first 100 pages, it's also okay to put it down. Like, you could try, if you're worried about the cost of it, you could try to resell it, you could donate it. Like, it's, again, not that serious.
Right, exactly, yeah. And that's where also like getting into your local library is a
That
great
too, I
resource.
need to do that so badly.
Honestly, as a broke girly, it really has saved me. I mean, especially for book club, because it's like these are books, like it's not just on my TBR and I can like go and, if they
Right,
don't have one book, I can just go and look for another one. It's like, not
right.
we're on a schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
I also have a Kindle, and Kindles
yeah.
help as well. It's like 11.99 a month. Well, of course, you have to invest in the Kindle, but then after that, it's like 11.99 a month to keep that subscription. And honestly, a lot of the book club books we've had have been on Kindle Unlimited. Not
Yeah.
sponsored, but
Not sponsored, but Kindle Unlimited.
it
If
could
you
be.
like sponsor, you could be. Yeah. Honestly, I think I found my Kindle on Facebook Marketplace for like
Yeah. Yeah.
$50 and it works great. And also, if you want to use library books, but you don't necessarily want like the library hard copies,
Right.
first of all, library audiobooks are great, but then also a lot of the library, depending on what software your library uses, there's like the Libby app that you can get on your phone.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
access the library database. That will actually allow you to like borrow library copies of the book off of Amazon, and you can read them on your Kindle. So it's a library book, but you can access it on your
Interesting.
Kindle. Yeah,
Okay, good to know.
which is exactly hot tip, pro tip, because then you can like still be reading it on your Kindle, but you don't have to pay for it. So,
Right.
I do like also that the ebook copies are like so much cheaper. You know, since now that I have the Kindle, I can
Yeah.
get the copy of the book if the library doesn't have it or whatever. I can get
Mhm.
it for $2.99. You know, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's attainable. Yeah.
yeah,
And
exactly.
this economy.
We can make that happen for book club. Anything for book club. But yeah, do you have any like favorite books? Like if you had to pick one book that you got introduced to through book club that's like, really is one of your favorites now, what would you say?
I Let me think. I think recently The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was a
Mm,
really good one by V.E. Schwab. That was a good one.
yeah.
It was not at all what I was expecting. Like, I think it's labeled as fantasy, but it just was the very different. Like, you think fantasy, you think like something like Lord of the Rings-esque,
Mm,
like whole different world, something like that. This one was more kind of everyday life, but just in such a different way, like this girl's way of interacting with the world, and it was kind of fantasy with that.
yeah.
Just the storyline too, the quotes, I still have so many quotes highlighted from that book. It was a
Mm,
really solid book. Also, I have another one, The Cruel Prince. So good. And then the rest of them, like, and then there's a spin-off of the Brother Leaf, so I have yet to get to that one, but like there's just so many good ones.
mhm.
And again, The Nightingale. I can't. I'm still there. And we
You're
read
making
that over a year ago.
you're making me want to read it. I might have to pick
I
that
mean,
one
it's not tiny. It's a thick book, but it's good. I mean, and then same author as what we just read for The Last Letter Act. No, 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 I'm a liar. That's not the
up.
same author. Never mind.
Yeah, but still good.
No,
Still good.
still really good. I think Ashley's also read The Woman, I think is one of her books. She said it was really good. I think that's
Okay.
the one she read.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like some of my favorites from book club, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was really good. We have actually a review that's going to be coming out next month, probably for that. And that was,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, I mean, I think the episode, I don't know if it is. We were a little crunched for time that day, so it might not be a full 45 minutes, but it was like there was just so much to unpack in that book. Like
It's
there's
a
so much
Yeah, there's
to think
so much you could talk
about.
about.
I mean, because it's really like I feel like that book was meant to be a book club book. You know,
It
like
was,
it's
yeah.
meant to like you have to read it and talk about it, like because it just makes you think so much about like life and the human experience and like I mean, existing and then like relationships and, like what do you want? What do you desire? What are you willing to sacrifice to get it? I mean, it was just
Right.
like, so I love those books that like really stick with you because they like really impact you and like they really deal with like real life. I love like a fun little fantasy book or a fun little whatever, but I'm also a big fan of like I would almost put that in like a literary fiction category, like it's written to be just like deep and like
Yeah, I would say it's
you know.
more like it leans more towards fiction than fantasy for sure. And it's so
Yeah.
interesting that it's usually, well, at least like in my algorithm, it's usually labeled as fantasy.
Yeah. I guess it's like urban fantasy because it's like real life or like
Yeah,
the modern day throughout the ages, but it there is definitely like some otherworldly or magical elements to it. So
yeah, yeah, for
it's
sure.
got a lot going on.
It does.
Recommended.
Highly recommend. Will be no spoilers today.
Sometimes we spoil, but today we're just
No, not on
free.
that one. I gotta gatekeep that one until they read it.
Yeah,
It's
true.
too good.
True, true. Um Let me see. I was trying to think if there was anything else. Earlier, you mentioned like, having themed cocktails or whatever for certain books. Do you have a space that you like to go to like brainstorm ideas for book club or like recipes or drink recipes or like whatever? Is there like a good spot that you find to like search those up, or you just be
Um,
Google?
I it used to be TikTok. I've kind of stepped away from TikTok because of doom scrolling. So right now it'd be Instagram.
Yeah.
Mm, Usually I'll just be, minding my business and it just comes up on my FYP or sometimes Pinterest. Like I
Mm-hmm.
remember, especially the first book club, I really wanted to like, get it right, of course. So I think I like looked up Pinterest pictures of like vampire cocktails or something like that. Or I tried to look up like vampire charcuterie board. Didn't really, some of them hit and some of them don't, and I didn't go with that one. So like
Yeah.
usually Pinterest, yeah, really social media is kind of the Google of our generation, I feel. So
Yeah. I do be using Pinterest a lot for like themed events. Sorry, my cat is trying to eat my
oh, you're fine.
flowers.
My cat's already tried to disturb me a couple times and I deterred
She's
her.
trying to
Oh, hi, Fred.
her debut appearance on Oops Spoilers. Say hello.
Hello.
She says, I will not. I'm filled with rage because you stopped me from eating the baby's breath. Yeah, Pinterest I feel like is great for like different themed meals, themed like decorations.
Yeah.
I have hosted like dinner parties with some of my friends in the past that were like based on a theme. So like I'm thinking specifically of like one my sister hosted, I think, and it was
Mm,
Twilight themed. So she like
yeah.
so she like made everything kind of look like kind of avant-garde, like new money, wealthy or old money, I guess. And I did like you were talking about the vampire cocktails. I think I Pinterested that. Like I was like vampire
Yeah.
cocktails, and so that was or Twilight cocktails or whatever, and so that was super fun.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
lots of ideas on the internet. You can always just poke around and see like even like if you search sometimes the popular books people will have like whatever, I'm sure that like akatar themed party
Right.
or like whatever. But you can also do like, okay, the book is like maybe not as popular, or I don't like what I'm finding with that, so let me try like, French themed, like I
Right.
was when I was planning my book club event for I picked the House of Fear by Marissa Meyer,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, what can I do? I can like play like New Orleans jazz, because that book kind
Yeah.
of has like I don't know. To me, it felt like New Orleans kind of themed. It was a little bit
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
yeah, a little bit like spooky, kind of like,
Yeah, something spooky or New Orleans
yeah,
is always kinda already kinda spooky in itself, but yeah.
exactly. So yeah, have fun with it. And I think like what you were saying before about like people will sometimes edit themselves out of the book club, or they'll, like decide not to read the books or just decide to like not be a part of the group anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that can like relieve some pressure too with people who are trying to plan these events. It's like the people that are meant to be there will be there, and the
Exactly.
people that
Yeah.
it's not for they can remove themselves, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like not everything is for everybody, but like trust that if you desire to have a group and you take those steps to invite people, like you'll find the right like fit in the right group.
Exactly. And another thing is, like, don't be afraid to invite people to book club. Like,
Mhm.
we have a recent addition, Kara. I noticed some books on her shelf. I was like, "What do you think about joining book club?" Because she
Mhm.
is more of like reading isn't like one of her main hobbies or
Mhm.
wasn't. So don't be afraid to like, even if you don't think they might be interested, don't be afraid to ask. Because like, if they say no, you'll just be in the same spot before. It's not that serious. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, like now, as I'm thinking about people who might join and not always read, the book,
Yeah.
or like people who might choose not to read a specific book, it's like sometimes books have like certain content, right? Like, this is why trigger warnings exist, like content that people aren't going to be able to consume in a healthy way,
Yeah.
or that's not like beneficial to them. Like, if your pick doesn't get read or whatever, don't be offended.
Yeah, and
because
it's really up to that individual reader just because you really like that book. And I believe me, we've done this for a while now. So there's been times I might be offended if someone didn't read it, but like, just it'll be okay. Like, it's really, it's gonna be okay. If they don't like it, that's up to them. And if they don't want to read it, that's okay.
yeah.
And then yeah, I think like that. I don't remember if you read it, the House by
Yes,
Freddie,
Frank
right?
Peretti.
I think there was somebody that opted out because it was just a little spooky, which it was pretty scary. Like I don't really, well, not scary. I don't usually just read that genre, so it ended up being a little creepy, and I was like, okay, I didn't know it was gonna go this way. So
Yeah,
if it's like too creepy, say like there could be trigger warnings in the book, whatever it could be. It's really up to the individual person to read it if they want to.
yeah.
What else?
I forgot about that book until you just said
I
that.
know,
It
I
was
kind of forgot that until you said, opted out. I was like, "Wait, I remember." It came to mind.
yeah. It was yeah, I don't think I ever like I must have read some kind of thriller at some point or like something thriller adjacent, but I feel like that was the most like horror thriller book I've ever read.
Yeah,
That's not
like,
really
with ghosts
the
and things in
type
it.
Mhm.
I'm all about thrillers, but it was on the spooky side for sure. Because I keep forgetting it was a Christian author, so I was like, "Wait, this is really scary."
Are Christians allowed to write scary stuff?
Right. And that is another thing too with book clubs. Sometimes you might have it's interesting the different walks of life, right? I think like now we have everybody in the book club that's a believer in God. There might have been people who were in there before that weren't. So you
Mhm.
get those different perspectives, and that even is interesting because it's important to not like keep your circle. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always try to keep an open mind. So it's important, at least for me, to have a space where anyone is welcome to come, anyone is welcome to join. And
Yeah.
if that's something specifically like, hey, we're here for book club. Like if we're just talking about books, we don't have to talk about that, but just like an
Mhm.
open, loving space. It's
Yeah.
still representing, God's love, of course.
Mhm.
But just, open minds, open hearts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, you don't really get to see things from other people's perspective, like with Yellowface, right? Like that's
Yeah.
not an experience that you're necessarily ever going to get to have. And so getting to understand that and read that from somebody else's perspective is invaluable, in order to like
It is.
be able to have more productive conversations.
Yeah,
And then
for sure.
also like being able to have people to discuss that with, and it's like, well, how did you interact with this? And how did this impact your day to day life? Because like that can be its own form of ministry as well, right? Like somebody
Right.
reads a book and maybe they have a hard time with something, or, like there's a part of it that really like speaks to their story or is indicative of a struggle that they're going through. And then that's an
Yeah.
opportunity, right, to have like a discussion on that point and like get to share in that community. And like what a healing, experience that can be to just have like a really solid group of girls that like has your back and wants
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
there for you, when you read something that's maybe like outside of your comfort zone, or hits a little too close to home. Like it's
Yeah,
not that serious. It is just book club, but it's also like, wow, what like a special thing like being a person is, and getting to share that with other people.
absolutely. Like
Yeah.
our book this month, Beartown, I
Mhm.
know you guys have been messaging about there being trigger warnings. I haven't gotten to like what that possible trigger is, but it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what it is and kind of walk through that together.
Yeah.
I have like maybe guesses, but I'm not that far
Mhm.
in, so I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. It's one of those where it's like I just wanted to message the group, and this is why like trigger warnings are important, or like respecting everybody's individuality is important, because it's like, yeah, there are things that people don't necessarily want to read about or can't read about because of whatever they've like gone through. They're not ready to impact that. And so it's like, hey, sometimes it's nice that they have those books like or there's warnings posted somewhere. But other times, it's nice to have a book club that like you can let each other know, like, hey, if you're sensitive to
Yeah.
whatever, like sexual trauma or, like substance abuse or whatever, like just check the trigger warning.
Yeah, like,
So people don't have
it
to be
comes to
surprised.
mind, the Midnight Library.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give it, like, a little bit of a spoiler. Basically, I don't remember the character's name, but the lady, she is essentially, like, really suicidal. She attempts that,
Hmm.
and so she, comes, like, through all of it and goes through this experience to make her want to live again, essentially, without giving, like, so much away.
Yeah.
Um So, there were people that had to opt out of it because of that at the time. This is a
Hmm.
while ago, and that's fair. Like, that's something that's really hard to read about. Like, there is an element of reading books or even just being in book club, you want that escapism, and then if you're not finding that, hey, it's okay to put it down. It's
Yeah.
still a safe space to be like, "Hey, I couldn't get through this book for this reason," and you don't even need to justify it, right? Like,
Hmm.
"Hey, I just couldn't finish it." Okay, we're good. Like, we're still gonna yap, we're still gonna, maybe drink some coffee, have some good food, whatever it is, and just
Yeah.
still hang out.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I'm so grateful that like I found, like you guys as individuals and then like was able to join the book club because it is just such
Yeah,
a special, like it's like I don't know. I feel like it's very healing to like the inner child or whatever. It's
it
like it
is,
is kind of like
absolutely.
it's like a play date. It's like,
It
it's just
is,
a
yeah.
little like nice thing that's like a part of your day to day, and it just like throughout the month as you're reading or whatever, like it's just such a cool connector to have. um
Yeah,
but
it's funny
before
you said oh, I'm sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you're good, go ahead.
No, I was when you said, like, inner child, it made me think of, like, I was taking some notes before this,
Hmm.
ideas or favorite things. One of the things I wrote down is, like, kind of going on adventures together, especially, like, some of the fantasies we've read, like The Cool Prince or Serpent and the Wings of Night, and
Hmm.
so many others that I'm currently forgetting. Just so many different, varieties of books, going on that adventure, just diving into that book separately and then coming together and talking about our favorite things, maybe our favorite character, anything like that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What a cool thing. Shout out to whoever invented the idea of a book club because
Right. I don't know who it was, but thank you, girl. And it was definitely a girl. Let's be real.
we all know. We all know. Now I feel like I should do some research on that.
I
There's
know.
gotta be
Now I'm curious. You piqued
gotta
my
be
interest.
some
I'm like,
note.
wait, who came up with this idea? I need to write them a letter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's just about the time that we have for today. But did you have any other like last words of encouragement that you wanted to share for anyone who's, maybe like scared to try and like join a new group or like make new friends, like doesn't maybe feel like they have it in them to, plan the thing or like commit to a whole book club, like
Right.
thing that you would leave them with?
I would say if you're thinking about starting one or even joining one, just go for it. Like if you know someone that has, it doesn't hurt. Or if you even just if you have one friend that that you both enjoy reading, you might
Hmm.
have a couple other mutual friends or other friends that you could each bring in that maybe reading isn't in their everyday hobbies, but it could just be, one book a month, something attainable. I think when I was first thinking of book club, I was like, "Oh, we'll do, like, every week." And then I'm thinking, "Is this attainable for everyone?" Like,
Hmm.
that's another thing. Make it attainable, make it digestible. Besides some of the books I've held up that are really large, like, maybe don't pick a really large book. Pick something that's, like, an easy for you never know each person's walks of life, their careers, how busy they are, or maybe their parents. Grab something that or let's say, like, you're starting initially and it's the first couple people, find that common genre, like, right? Like, ours was fantasy. Find something or even just one book that you're interested in reading together. It can just
Hmm.
start with that one book and just go from there, and you can just make it fluid. It doesn't have to have these rigid rules. It's for the girlhood of it or, friendship of it. It can be
Yeah.
any genre or any,
Men can
gender.
read books too.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like, "Wait,
If they
wait,
want,
this could
they
be
can
any
read those
gender."
books. Oh my
Our
goodness.
book club has never foreseen a man, but you never know.
know what? Maybe next month is the month. We
Hey,
just
you never
never
know.
you never know what's around the river bend, as Pocahontas would say. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And yeah, there's all kinds of fun things too. Like I think like circling back to like looking on social media or whatever, I
Right.
just was thinking about like I've seen where book clubs like everybody picks like an American girl that they like and then they get like a book recommendation based off of like
Yeah.
their favorite American girl or like you can my friend's book club is doing where like everybody has their favorite book and they like swapped it with another book club person. So now they're all
Oh,
like
I like that one.
yeah, so they swapped, like each other's favorite books, or like they have like a book pong where you like do
Yes,
like the
I
beer
think
pong.
I'm gonna do that one, honestly.
That would be
Well, I
so
don't
fun.
know. I'm torn. I might have a plot for the next one, and then the one after that, we might just be beer or not beer pong, but book pong.
Right. Where you like you throw it in and then whatever cup it lands in, you read like, okay, we're not reading this book, and then you go into
Yeah,
like, the one which I think is so fun. Like there's so many ideas and people are so creative. So even if you feel like you're like, an empty well, reach out, either you can post something or just, look up like fun book club ideas. It's all over the place. So, yeah, like really, I think if you're feeling like you're in a stage of life or a season or whatever where you need more intentional community, you need something to look forward to on your calendar or something just fun, that's like low pressure, like gives you an excuse to read more or like an excuse to talk with your friends more. Like it's just such a great outlet for so many different things.
exactly.
Yeah, so feel free to, comment your own like book club experiences. If you start a book club based off of our recommendation,
Yeah, that's awesome. That'd be
tag
great.
us. We'd love to see it. Reader, a listener, we'd love having you here. We, of course, could spend all night talking about, book club and all things relevant, but oops, spoilers. All right, we'll see y'all later.